Welcome to the second part of bullying with manipulative character assassination and its effects. Today we are talking about the different categories of violence and how violence manifests itself. This topic is very complex because with this topic, again, you really have to remember that bullying is not just a newfangled term, but an extreme form of violence that is still not taken seriously enough, and that begins or can begin at a very early age. So let's start with the question, what is violence and how does it manifest itself?
Here, we distinguish between four categories of violence: private violence, warlike violence, and terrorist violence, plus direct violence. In terms of private violence, we list points such as jealousy, domestic violence, disputes, insults, provocation, rape, blackmail, criminality, oppression, and also bullying. To the warlike violence, there are points like rebellions, wars and civil wars, homicides, prolonged war violence for political purposes. The motives range from religion and ideology up to enrichment to personal profit. Whereby wars are not exclusively waged by governments, these can also be rebels, warlords, or even drug barons. Terrorist violence includes points such as assassinations, non-governmental acts of violence like attacks on the innocent civilian population which have nothing to do with political wars, ruthless spreading of indiscriminate violence with fear and terror towards innocent people. Direct violence, whether physical or psychological, is generally visible. For example, in the form of disputes, rape, fisticuffs, insults, etc. Not to forget, also financial as well as mental exploitation belong to the direct violence.
Often perpetrators of violence suffer attacks in their childhood and at some point become perpetrators themselves, a vicious cycle from which the former victims themselves become perpetrators. The dangerous thing about this is that the perpetrators often do not let themselves be helped and thus harm other people, whether consciously or pathologically unconsciously, more and more because they consider their attitude as normal. In doing so, they appear very eloquent and convincing and supposedly self-confident. Over time, this enables them to influence not only unstable people, but also established personalities in such a way that they will sell them the pear as a banana.
There is an infinite number of true stories of suffering. You are able to see two examples of suffering in our continuing videos.